this video, I'm going to show you how I remember the scientific terms and some tricks. First example I show you is isomers, isotopes and isotonic solution. I put those three keywords together because they all start from iso, ISO. That means the same. Okay, let's look at isomer. Isomers means they share the same molecular formula, but they have different structural formula. Now, let's look at the first one. First one, you have 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 4 carbon. And hydrogen, if you count the hydrogen, that gives you 10 hydrogen. Now, second one, again, carbon, 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 4 carbon. Hydrogen, again, is 10. So you can see they all have exactly the same molecular formula, but their structure different. First one, the carbon is a long chain like that. That's the first one. Second one, you have a carbon chain of 3 and you have a branch here like that. So their structure is different. So that's called isomers. Now, second one, you can see again they are isomers because they have the same molecular formula but different structure formula. Let's see. Molecular formula, carbon, 1, 2, 3. So that's C3. Now H, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So H, you got 8 and 1 O. Now second one again is 1, 2, 3. Okay, you have 3 carbon, and then you have 8 hydrogen and 1 O. See? So looking at this, they all have the same molecular formula, but the structure is different. How do you know the structure is different? Because the structure is this functional group, OH, and that tells you it is an alcohol. Now, the first one, the alcohol, is connected only to the carbon in the end. And the second one, the OH, is connected to the middle carbon. So the functional group is positioned in a different place, and therefore they have different structure, and they are isomers. Okay, so that's the first one, isomers. Okay, so that's how you remember that. And the next one is isotopes. Now, isotopes, you can see carbon 12 and carbon 13. They both have the same atomic number. This is atomic number, but they have different mass number. Now, we know from last lesson that atomic number tells you the number of protons. So if atomic number is 6, this one proton number is 6, and that one proton number is 6 as well. Now, that also tells you that the electron number is 6. Why? Because electrons is negatively charged particles. Protons are positively charged particles. So they have to cancel each other out, making sure this atom overall no charge. Overall no charge, as I said from last lesson. And therefore electron number and proton number is the same. So that again, electron number is 6. Now, neutron number is the mass number take away the atomic number. So that's 13 take away 6 give you 7, and that will be 6. So isotopes means those atoms, they share the same number of protons, they share same number of electrons, but they have a different number of neutrons. Yeah, you can also say they have the same number of atomic number but different mass number. Now let's look at the second one. Hydrogen is the same. Hydrogen, you have hydrogen 1, hydrogen 2, hydrogen 3. For the first one, so the proton is 1, electron is 1, neutron is 0. This one, proton is 1, electron is 1, neutron is 1. That one, proton is 1, electron is 1, neutron is 2. You see, so again, they share the same number of protons, but they have different number of neutrons. So that's isotopes. So they are positioned in the same place in the periodic table, but they have different mass number. Let's see. Okay, that's isotopes. And again, next one I present to you is isotonic solution. Isotonic solution. Now that is talking about the concentration of solution between the outside the cell and the inside the cell. We know this plant cell here, that's cell wall. This layer here is cell membrane. Okay, so that's cytoplasm. And here, this one here is vacuole. Now, of course, we got nucleus here. Nucleus is here. That's a nucleus, but it's a little bit behind. So that's nucleus. Okay. Now, what we do, we're concentrating on the vacuole. See here, this is a vacuole. Now, vacuole here, it contains water. So when the water goes into the cell, that rate equals the water come out of cell. This solution is said to be isotonic. Now, that means this cell will not lose water and also will not be blown up. Yeah. So because this plant cell has got vacuole, very important part. Plant cell don't have, animal cell don't have cytoplasm. This is that's so we got all those cells labeled. So I'm talking about isotonic solution. Yeah. So if you say this water, the amount of water transported into the cell equals to the amount of water transport out of the cell, then this solution is isotonic. Yeah. So the concentration of the solute inside the cell equals to the solution outside the cell. That is called isotonic. So iso is the same. Yeah. So that's how I remember those keywords. The second group of keywords I present to you is carbohydrate, sulfate, nitrate. So they all end up with ATE. Now, what does that mean? Carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are compounds that you found in the living things. They only contains carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen atoms. So that's carbohydrates. So we call they usually found in the food, yeah, in the bread, in the rice, and things like that. They provide you with energy. Of course, carbohydrates is a big family, and the starch, for instance, is an example of carbohydrates. And you have glucose, and that's carbohydrates. You have sucrose, and so on. So that's all belongs to this carbohydrates family. So it contains carbon, hydrogen, oxygen only. But this tells you oxygen. This tells you you have got oxygen. Now, for instance, sulfate. Sulfate is SO4 2 minus. It's an iron. It's an iron in chemistry. So that's sulfate. It's not sulfur. S is sulfur. Sulfur is S. When it's sulfate, it's SO4 2 minus. It's an iron. Nitrate, again, nitrate, NO3 1 minus. You got oxygen. So this OATE means you contains oxygen. Yeah, if you don't, that will be nitrogen. Nitrogen is N. Yeah, it's N. But when you have a NO3 minus, again, that's an iron. That's an iron, nitrate ion, and that you got a charge. So that's nitrate, ATE, because you got oxygen. Now carbohydrates, ATE, you got oxygen. Okay, so that's how you remember the keywords. My name is June. I am a qualified teacher of science in England, and I am a published author. My book is available on Jingdong, and it makes good gifts. If you would like to support my work, please subscribe and hit the like button. I really appreciate it. Have a wonderful day, and I see you again soon.